All right, future aerospace technicians, ready to crush that interview.
We're diving deep into how to do just that.
We've got real questions, insider tips.
Straight from RoleCatcher's December 2023 career guide.
Your secret weapon for becoming an aerospace engineering technician.
And trust me, prepping is key. It's a competitive field. We'll break down what those interviewers are really after.
How to stand out from the crowd.
Plus, we'll sprinkle in some career-boosting advice to help you soar even after you land the job.
Love it. First up, picture this. You're face-to-face with the hiring manager, and they ask, tell us about your experience with aerospace engineering software. What's your move?
Now, it's tempting to just rattle off every program you've ever opened, but hold on, they're not after a laundry list.
It's about quality, not quantity, right?
Exactly. The guide stresses this. Spotlight software that matches the job description. Think CAD software.
Like Kudia.
Right on. Or analysis tools like SYS. Don't just say, oh yeah, I've used KT.
Tell them how you used it to, I don't know, design a critical aircraft part. Or analyze those stress points. Prove you can use the tools, not just open them.
Now this is where RoleCatcher's AI swoops in to save the day.
Oh, tell me more.
You can actually feed the job description to their AI.
Wow.
And it analyzes it, helps you tailor your answers to each specific job.
Like having a personal interview coach. So smart. Okay, you nailed the software question. Now they hit you with, how do you stay updated on the latest in aerospace engineering? What's the play here?
Here's where you prove your passion. It's a fast-moving field. They want someone who's always learning.
Someone hungry for knowledge, eager to grow alongside the industry. So more than just saying, oh, I read industry magazines.
Right.
Give them an example. Like, I was glued to that article in Aerospace America about how they're using 3D printing for satellites.
Perfect. And remember that American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics we mentioned? Being a part of groups like that shows you're serious.
Proves you're in the loop.
Attending conferences, workshops, all those are gold for demonstrating you're on top of your game.
It's about showcasing that drive to stay ahead.
Mm.
Okay, next question. They want to dig into your problem-solving skills.
The one they all ask.
The classic. Describe a time you had to troubleshoot a technical problem, but what are they really getting at here?
It's more than just knowing how to fix stuff. They want to see your process, how you think on your feet when things get tough.
So walk them through it step by step. Did you use a specific diagnostic tool? Analyze data?
Exactly. Don't be afraid to get a bit technical, but always tie it back to the solution. What you did and how it led to a win. Make it a story.
Because everyone loves a good story.
Yes.
Okay, time for a curveball. How should someone handle this one? Can you describe a time when you had to work on a project with a tight deadline?
The pressure test. Here's where they see how you manage your time, how you prioritize.
More than just saying, I'm a deadline ninja, what's a better approach?
Pick a project, a real nail-biter with a deadline looming. Break it down for them. How'd you tackle it? Stay organized.
Project management software. Delegating tasks. Give them those juicy details.
Right. And focus on the result. Did you beat the clock? Did you have to get creative to save the day? Let your problem-solving skills shine.
This is your time to shine. Okay, let's switch gears to something a bit more technical. What happens when they ask about those core concepts? Something like, can you explain the difference between aerodynamics and fluid mechanics?
The classic concepts question. This is where a solid foundation really pays off.
Back to basics.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Fluid mechanics is the big picture, how liquids and gases behave. Aerodynamics is like a zoomed-in part of that, focusing on how air behaves around things that move through it.
It's like they're dancing together, right?
Yeah.
Aerodynamics is leading, but fluid mechanics is setting the rhythm.
I like that. So start with the basics of fluid mechanics. Lift, drag, pressure, all that jazz. Then zero in on how those apply to aircraft design.
Okay, so instead of textbook definitions, you're proving a deeper understanding.
Exactly. And if those concepts need a little dusting off,
RoleCatcher to the rescue.
they have a whole library of resources, flashcards, in-depth explanations.
All geared toward aerospace.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk safety. It's paramount in aerospace. How do you suggest someone tackles this question? How do you ensure your work meets safety and regulatory standards? You really need to showcase that meticulous side here.
Absolutely. Aerospace is all about unwavering commitment to safety. It's crucial. So dive into those quality control processes you live by.
Double-checking calculations using specific tools for calibration.
Exactly. Show them you don't mess around when it comes to getting it right. Don't just say, I follow the rules.
Right, that's a given.
Talk about your experience with safety protocols.
Maybe even mention specific regulations if you've got them. FAA standards, anything like
Yeah,
that.
perfect example. And it all circles back. Remember when we talked about continuous learning? Well, aerospace safety standards, they're always evolving.
So you got to show them you're committed to staying updated. It proves you're serious, that you're invested in doing things by the book. Speaking of books.
Or, I guess, ditching the book and thinking on your feet.
Exactly. How would you suggest someone handles this question? Can you describe a time you had to work on a project with a tight deadline?
Ah, the one they all throw in there. The pressure test. They want to see your time management skills, how you prioritize when things get hairy.
So more than just, I'm a deadline wizard.
Right. Pick a project, something that really put you to the test. Time was ticking away.
And
Walk them through your process. How did you break it down, stay organized?
project management software, delegating, those are good.
Exactly. Give them the specifics. And what happened? Did you meet that deadline? Did you have to MacGyver your way to a solution? This is where you showcase those problem-solving muscles.
Love it. Okay, back to the technical side. Imagine the interviewer throws this one out. Can you explain the difference between a turbojet engine and a turboprop engine? Where do you even start with that?
Sometimes a good visual helps. Imagine a turboprop, like a fan, pushing the plane forward. That's essentially what the propeller's doing, powered by a turbine.
Makes sense.
Now, a turbojet, that's like a powerful jet of water shooting a toy boat across a bathtub. All that thrust, it comes from the exhaust gases.
So it's about highlighting those different ways they generate thrust and when each type of engine really takes the lead.
You got it. You could mention how turboprops are more fuel efficient at lower speeds, perfect for smaller aircraft. Turbojets, they're built for speed, high altitude. Think commercial jets.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay, last question, and it's a big one for teamwork. Can you describe a time you had to collaborate on a project? This feels huge in aerospace. Why is that?
Because in aerospace, it's never a solo mission, building and maintaining aircraft. It takes a village, engineers, technicians, manufacturers. Everyone's got a role, and they need to work together seamlessly.
So how do you make your answer stand out from all the other candidates who've worked in teams?
The STAR method is your friend here.
Classic for a reason, right?
Exactly. Situation, task, action, result. Set the scene. What was the project, your role on the team?
Yeah.
Then describe your specific task and what you did to crush it.
And, of course, the grand finale.
The results. Highlight what your teamwork made happen. Those positive outcomes, that's what they want to hear.
The STAR method. Yeah. Tried and true. And speaking of tried and true, I've got to bring up RoleCatcher's AI feedback again. It's a game changer when you practice these answers.
Totally agree. It's like having a personal coach right there, watching your every move, analyzing your delivery.
Pointing out what to tweak for maximum impact.
Seeing yourself on video and getting that honest feedback, it's invaluable.
It's about perfecting your delivery, building confidence. Because let's be real, confidence is key in that interview room.
Couldn't agree more. Now let's switch gears from nailing the interview to the bigger picture.
From landing the job to launching your career. Love it.
Right. The career guide talks about this, the exciting advancement opportunities out there for aerospace engineering technicians. We've talked about acing the interview, but what about acing your career? Where do you see people going in this field? It's like they say, it's all about who you know, but in this field, it's really about who knows your passion for aerospace.
So true. Okay, as we bring this deep dive in for a landing, any final words of wisdom for those ready to launch their aerospace technician careers?
Don't forget, the interview is a two-way street. You're checking them out, too.
Oh, I like that. It's easy to get caught up in trying to impress them.
Right. But don't be afraid to ask good questions about the company culture, how the team works, even the kinds of projects you'd be tackling.
Shows you're thinking long-term, that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for the right fit.
Exactly. See if your visions line up. Do they value learning new things as much as you do? Encourage creative problem solving, that kind of thing.
Such good points. It's about finding a place where you can really thrive.
And what better place to do that than in aerospace engineering? It's a field where you can really make your mark, work on things that push the limits.
I love that energy. So to all our aspiring aerospace technicians out there, go ace those interviews.
And get ready to launch those careers. The sky's the limit.
And remember, RoleCatcher is your co-pilot on this journey. They've got your back every step of the way. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep aiming for those stars.